Right now, let's go to Alabaster. Alabaster, Thompson High School, which is you will find a 7A football team. We've talked a lot about Taulia Tagovailoa. Coach Mark Freeman is the head coach there. Coach, I hope you're having a great afternoon. Thank you again for making us a part of your afternoon. Thank you, sir.
Man, thank you for calling. We're having a great day, a blessed day. I hope you are.
Yes, sir, we are. We are, and I'm sure a lot of excitement around your program leading into the 2018 season, coming off the 2017 season where you guys had a lot of success here in this area.
I believe it is, and like I said, at least now the kids, we lose 13 starters, I think, from that team last year, but at least we're replacing them now with kids that we're training, bringing them through the system and all that. So at least if they're going to be young, at least we hope they'll know the right way to do it anyway.
Coach, can you walk us to the transition when Taulia walked into your school and you had a chance to see him for the first time? Can you walk us through how that process kind of went down?
Well, he got here, as a matter of fact, about a year ago, this time of year, I think he got here in mid-April, maybe, something like that. And, obviously, I had watched, when the dad commented, obviously you want to find out all you can about a kid on film. But when he got here and you saw his demeanor and his character and how well that the family had trained those guys to be leaders and unselfish players, and the team's always more important than you are. And if somebody's got to sacrifice something, it's going to be you. And, by being around him and seeing his character and the way he had been taught from a small guy growing up, so then you put the ball in his hands and watch him spin the football, you was excited that you had a guy like that come along.
Coach, did you guys have a quarterback that was in place that was returning starter, or was this a kind of an open competition?
Well, it was going to be open. We had, we had played two guys there, and we were going to give both them a shot probably coming back in. And we were looking at maybe having to change what we did offensively. The region we're in up here is, you're going to play good coaching every Friday night. You're going to play good talent. And so we were in the middle of figuring out, are we going to have to change what we do offensively? And I'll never change what I believe in or what I do, but we were going to have to do some stuff to get some help, and then when he got here, it let me run the stuff that we did at Spanish Fort and other places that we've been. It opened up some things we could do that we felt we were doing.
Coach, when you see Taulia obviously throw the football, and I had a chance to go catch you guys a couple of different times and watched you here play Hillcrest one Friday night, and was very impressed with just his poise, his leadership, the style of play. I mean, he's a gunslinger and a guy that obviously a lot of excitement around your program before he arrived, and then I think he just magnified that with stepping foot on campus.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. He came in and he was they had Jim Jones and them had done a good job of, and Nalu had done a really good job, his dad, of teaching them the quarterback stuff, the basics of quarterback, and he was really used to 3-step quick game and getting the ball gone. And so, we incorporated, enough that if he got over here and it wasn't comfortable right at first, at least we could have something to fall back on. So we got versed on some of the run and shoot stuff that he was used to. And then if he had a snag in the transfer of getting him into what we want to do, then we had some stuff we felt like built into his comfort zone that we could build stuff off that for him. But heck, after he was here a week, he was learning RPOs. He was learning our number system that, grass numbers and matchups is basically all we work off of. And he got it so fast that we were able to keep, a couple things that he really liked from his other school, little quick game stuff. And then we were able to incorporate what we do with him because he was just so knowledgeable and eager to learn.
How would you describe Taulia Tagovailoa to an outsider that maybe has not had a chance to watch you guys play in person? How would you describe him to someone that maybe outside of the state of Alabama that's listening to us on the internet, the web? How would you describe Taulia Tagovailoa as a player?
As a player, I would just say probably the most unselfish kid that you've ever been around or watched play. Very, very unselfish. Very, if they're, how you always have something in a room, who did this or who did that. He'll take the blame. He'll take one for the team when he's got to. As a player, He's unselfish. He's a studier of the game. He's a question. He asks questions. Me and he'll meet every morning around 6:30, and it's not like we sit in here and he's asking questions. He's asking ideas. We're going through reads and stuff, and then the biggest thing is, I think, when you get on the field with him, is the danger that I would worry about playing against him is he can extend plays so well, and he extends them looking to throw the ball, which a lot of people, I think, extend plays and they end up running the ball or throwing it away. This guy will extend it, and he'll look downfield. His vision's so great that he can look downfield while he's extending plays and really hurt somebody that's aggressive that might give up something to come get.
Coach, when you've got a high-profile player like this, when you look at the recognition, it brings a lot of attention, and a lot of other players get recognition because they have a chance to go and they watch tape and they go, "Hey man, how about that left tackle there? That guy's got a chance to play big-time college football. And he's got offers from all over." But you bring attention and that extra special attention that have a chance to break down film, and they see other players that have a chance to go and play at the college level.
Man, you sound like you're in our meetings with our kids, right? It is. It's an opportunity for another person, and a lot of times those guys get acknowledged or made aware of somebody that's coming to look at one player, and they keep seeing a guy make a play, and all of a sudden, it might not be for them, but coaches have friends, and coaches have people and families at other schools too. So you take a guy that might not be an SEC or ACC kid, and you got a connection at a Conference USA or a Sun Belt or something. Now you open the door for that kid to get a chance to go, and that's what we stress our kids. When we'll have 50 schools through here this spring, it's your opportunity. So you're right.
We're talking with Coach Mark Freeman right now, the head coach at Thompson High School, talking about Taulia Tagovailoa. Coach, let me ask you from a perspective, when you look at Nick Saban, obviously you graduated from the University of Alabama, but just from a coaching perspective, what makes him so successful?
Coach, to me, Coach Saban, and I know people that work are around, but my thing is, when you talk to Coach Saban, he is such a genuine person. I mean that by he knows how to get people to do things that they might not even believe themselves to do. A lot like Coach Bryant could do, but Coach Saban is so good at. I know he's a grinder. I know and I know the process, and I think there's root and there's substance to the process. I mean, you look at the coaching changes they've had down there the last 4, 5, 6 years. The defensive line coach, the O-line coach, the people that's come through, but the common denominator is Coach Saban's been there, and they're winning championships. And when you talk to Coach Saban is a good person. And I know people say, well, but I'm just saying this. He's successful. He sticks to the process of what he believes is right. He puts people around him that adhere to the process. And Coach is going to get it done his way. And is that way always, right? That's not for me to say. I'd have to say this. It's right a whole lot of times. So I think he's done a great job. He puts people around him that obviously don't mind working. They don't mind doing the things that helps make that place great. But he's just I think he's a great judge of coaching ability to put around him. And I think he does a great job of getting kids that are great recruits, and he gets them better through the process that they go through, whether it be with Coach Cochran or whatever it is. They put them through a process of being a great athlete, and they make them greater as individuals and players. That's just my belief. Take it for what it's worth.
Are you able to talk with Coach Saban? I mean, being a head coach in this state, have you had a chance to be able to interact with Coach?
Sure. Coach interacts with a lot of people. We don't bother Coach Saban, but Coach Saban he's always there when we have Alabama High School Athletic Association meetings. He comes and talks, and obviously when they're recruiting your players, and if you're down, you're around. Coach is I really love Coach Saban, and I think that he does a tremendous job, and he's always been really good to all my friends in high school. He spends time, he speaks to them. He is busy, and I think high school guys don't bother him, you know. But I think out of respect, he's very cordial to us about the University of Alabama. And I'll say this too: I know it's University of Alabama, but Coach Malzahn and them the same way. They do a great job. We're blessed in this state to have
Coach Mark Freeman right now from Thompson High School, Alabaster, Alabaster City there. We're talking with Coach Mark Freeman, and we'll continue the conversation here. Let's get back into the conversation with Coach Mark Freeman. And let me go, Coach, just a final couple of questions here. What was your involvement when the recruiting of Taulia Tagovailoa? I mean, what did you help him with once you knew that he had made his decision? I think most people knew that the Alabama likely was going to be his team, but you kind of wanted him to go through the process and to see what it's like and see the other options out there. What was your role in this?
Well, I'm being honest. My role is to try to get him to be the best football player he can be, and I'm going to support. You know, that's a family decision, and we're going to pull for Taulia. You know, whatever he was going to do or whatever decision he made, our job is to try to make him, you know, help him in some areas that he can use help in, make him great in the areas he's good at, and just he's the kind of kid that if he decided wherever he was going to go, we were going to pull for Taulia and help get him ready to go there. And I mean that with all sincerity. You know, am I shocked where he decided to go? I'm not really, but I was a little bit shocked that he pulled the trigger, you know, this quick, which I understand now after speaking with him why he did it. You know, he just wanted to concentrate on summer, and he's got some stuff planned he wants to do this summer, and I think they felt good about it. So we 100% support that decision.
Coach, when does spring training start for you guys?
May 7th.
Okay, and you do what are you allowed to get 10 practices in a 2-week period, 3-week period, something like that?
Yeah, we get 10 days at the end of the day. When it's all done, we get 10 days, and we'll practice 9 days, and then we're going to play a little scrimmage with Clay Chalkville up here at May 19th.
Coach, when you look at Region 3 and 7A football, I mean that's like a little small SEC, right? I mean 7A Region 3, pretty good region there.
It really is, and we were just in staff meeting talking about it. There's not a team in the region that you say, hey, we're going to beat them this year. I mean, everybody in that region. And look, you're not as good in high school every year in, year out. In high school, you got to pretty much play with what's coming through, and I don't care top to bottom that region. It's every Friday night you're playing against well-coached teams, and all of them have good football players. And you know, there's years that some of them are better, there's years that we're better, some years you're not as good. But it's every Friday night is just great festive crowds, great bands, great cheerleaders. It's just a lot of fun, and that's one of the reasons we came to Alabaster City to be part of the region and to be able to compete in this stuff every Friday night.
Well, Coach, it's certainly a lot of excitement. I'll see you at some point throughout the season. Able to catch a couple of games last year. I plan to do it again this year and go out and see the growth. I was talking to your athletic director on the sidelines last year at Hillcrest, and he was just talking about the excitement. I mean, the fans. I mean, when you look at your crowd that traveled down to Tuscaloosa, I mean, what a support system that you guys have there at Thompson High School.
Man, we were blessed. I'm telling you, and before I took the job here, I was a Spanish forward, and, man, we had great crowds and great support there, and that was one of the things being, you know, down there for 6 years. I grew up here, but I knew that Thompson always supported their stuff, and when I called up here, when I got serious about the job, you know, first thing I want to know is, do the people love the game up there? What kind of community is it? And I mean, I called friends of mine at Hoover. I called friends at Trussville. I called friends that was playing these people. And they said, Mark, let me tell you the one thing about them is they're going to bring a crowd. And you know what? They've been so supportive, and they weathered the first couple of years out with us. And man, just we're blessed, and it's a great time to be in Alabaster right now.
Well, Coach Freeman, thank you again for taking a couple of minutes out of your day. I certainly will continue to follow the success there in Thompson, and we appreciate you spending a couple of minutes with us talking about Taulia Tagovailoa. Thank you, sir.
We thank you very much. Have a blessed day.